Oh yeah. Let's take a look at this. This guy, he wrote a book called Sapiens, which all the right people read that book. I tried to read it, and it's garbage. It's supposed to be like a history of humans, but it's just this. Yeah, I didn't know at the time that he was involved with the WEF, but it makes perfect sense now. For one thing, it's just full of kind of noble savage bullshit, like how much better life was, like before we had modern society, modern technology. It was great just being a hunter gatherer, wandering around, 75, 50,000 years ago, right? Just wandering around looking for food, sleeping outside. It was wonderful. He went to great lengths to tell us about what we're missing out on, having like no modern medicine or any comfort whatsoever and dying at like 30. And here he talks about something he went into the book as well about everything that is good and that you believe in life is just a story and it really doesn't mean anything. And I don't know, maybe somebody should come along and give you a new story. I wonder who that would be. Wonder who those people would be.
Maybe most legal systems are based on this idea, this belief in human rights. But human rights are just like heaven and like God. It's just a fictional story that we've invented and spread around. It may be a very nice story, it may be a very attractive story, we want to believe it, but it's just a story. It's not a reality. It is not a biological reality. Just as jellyfish and woodpeckers and ostriches have no rights, Homo sapiens have no rights also. Take a human, cut him open, look inside, you find their blood, and you find the heart and lungs and kidneys, but you don't find there any rights. The only place you find rights is in the fictional stories that humans have invented and spread around.
Fuck you, commie. We don't want your world. We don't want the story that you're telling.
What does that mean?
We don't want the story that you're telling, guy. We don't like it.
Everything woke turns to shit.
Jesus, let's keep watching. I mean, the way these people talk, if you read the great Klaus Schwab's Great Reset, you get the sense that it feels like he's writing about ants, right? The way this guy talks about, you cut somebody open and then you see I mean, these people, they just seem like ghouls to me. They sound like ghouls.
And the same thing is also true in the political field. States and nations are also, like human rights and like God and like heaven, they too are just stories. A mountain is a reality. You can see it, you can touch it, you can even smell it. But Israel or the United States, they are just stories, very powerful stories, stories we might want to believe very much, but still they are just stories. You can't really see the United States. You cannot touch it. You cannot smell it.
So did you get that? It's everything that you value is just a story, and it actually doesn't have any value. And actually, you know what? You're actually kind of stupid. That's where he's going with this. Let's hear that again. Let's just hear that last bit again.
You can see it. You can touch it. You can even smell it. But Israel or the United States, they are just stories, very powerful stories, stories we might want to believe very much, but still they are just stories. You can't really see the United States. You cannot touch it. You cannot smell it.
All just stories. All just stories. And he's got a story too. He wants to tell you about how great it was 50,000 years ago, wandering around looking for food and dying at like 25. Don't forget, he's tied in with the He likes to talk at the WEF. These are the guys who brought you the brilliant idea that you might have nothing and be really happy about it. Wonderful. They've got some pods for you to live in. That's good. I guess that's better than living out in like a grassland on the ground. This is the way. These are the people who want to be the architects of the brave new world, right? They don't seem to even like humans very much. They certainly seem to think that there's too many of them, too many of you. I mean, you see that, that meme, you're the carbon they're trying to get rid of. Well, they don't really ever say anything to kind of disprove that, do they? Well, Jordan Peterson said of this is one of the most ill-informed set of propositions and pseudo-observations I have ever heard. Is that the best you can do? It is the best he can do. And the best he can do is fucking terrible.